This isn't just Friday night under the lights. It's every early morning, every rep, every ounce of sweat that built this team. We don't play for stats. We don't play for hype. We play for the man beside us, for the name on our chest, for the tradition we carry every time we step on this field. Behind us, a school, a city, a family. In front of us, 100 yards of purpose. Tonight, we don't just show up. We take over. No fear, no doubt, just fire in our hearts and purple in our blood. We are Calvary, and this is our time.
The regular season has come and gone. Calvary Day ends at 9-1 overall. Welcome into our first postseason edition of the Calvary Coaches Show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Roberts, with head football coach of the Cavaliers, Jason Cameron. It was a 41-0 win over Liberty County last Friday at the Specialty Sports Complex. Coach, they came out, Liberty County did. They kind of punched you guys early, but team settled in. First thoughts from a regular season-ending win?
Yeah, that's what we talked about. We said that they'll continue to give their best effort, and lack of a better term, be punching as long as we allow them to.
Mm-hmm.
Took about 2-3 drives where they did a really, really good job. They held us to a field goal, and then we fumbled the football offensively, but. For the most part, defensively, we were pretty lights out all night with the way we tackled, the way we covered, and the way that we aligned correctly to the game plan.
It's kind of a defensive episode. Defensive coordinator Stephen Miros will be joining us in the second block. But start offensively, 41 points on the board again. What'd you see? MJ Knight, specifically from the wide receiving core, he really shined in his regular season finale.
He's a guy, man. He's great at high pointing the football. His hands are so strong, and now because of the way he approaches practice and his work ethic, he's becoming a better route runner, week in and week out. So he had a phenomenal game. It's another game though. You look at our statistics. He had 7 catches. Ty Pinckney has 7 catches. I believe Ty led us in yardage. Only a sophomore, and his improvement is phenomenal. So another solid performance by James. I thought James played really, really well. His 1 interception was 1,000% my fault. But it was a great team win. It was fun to watch us defensively run around like we know we can. We covered really well, and we swarmed to the football, and that's our style of defense.
Well, on that side of the ball, you have one of the nation's leaders in sacks in Jeffrey McCormick. We'll get more to him in a little bit as well with Coach Miros, but 16 sacks in 10 games. To average a sack and a half a game is someone who is young in the game of football. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, he's a great player. A lot of it is his motor. He plays so hard, and it's funny if you watch this game, he doesn't really play in the first half. He was sick all week. Tough game plan because Liberty ran a lot of different sets, so we really focused a lot on alignment and assignment stuff. So you miss 2 days of practice, you're a little behind. He did nothing wrong. He was terrible stomach virus. Jeffrey McCormick doesn't miss practice, so it's just next man up mentality like we've had all year. So he kind of played him in the third quarter, but the year that he's having and his ability to rush the passer, and what he's doing is, and he did it today in practice, he's becoming a better run stop. Because the kid takes hard coaching so well. He's just a sponge. Coach Chumley and Coach Miros, they're all about small details. And Jeffrey, that's the way he approaches things. If you talk to his lacrosse coach, that's the way after lacrosse practice, he's going to ask Coach Yontley, hey, Coach, what do I do to get better? You love coaching guys like that.
And it's on the other side of that, you guys have KB and Emerson Lewis, Jay Vunner, guys that have worked for this that are shining for you. To have that balance on one half of the ball, what does that say about the roster that's been compiled in for this 2025 season?
I think we're doing a really good job as a coaching staff maximizing everybody's abilities. I think we do a really good job of putting them in the position to be successful. And also think we do a good job of not harping on, if a guy's not playing well, he gets subbed. And it's nothing, it's nothing personal. We believe in you have to execute and you have to produce. If you don't, the next guy needs to be up. And so it's empowering to those other guys. So every day you step foot in Calvary's practice, we had 2 freshmen today one repping at slot receiver, one repping at outside receiver with a genuine chance to play in 2 weeks. So to me, that's so empowering. That you come to work every single day and you have a chance to, if I produce, hey, I might play.
what you were kind of playing for something as well, because with the win against the Panthers, that secures that first round bye, an extra week for the team to prepare. You get to sit and watch a game that has two quality opponents and prepare for both. What did playing for something do to the team and another shutout?
I think at Calvary, you're always playing for something. The expectation is not to lose. You know what I'm saying? So, and with power rankings, it's funny. Some people asked me, Coach, well, if you lose, what seed? I can't think that way. Our staff can't think that way. Our kids can't think that way. And, the biggest thing we were playing for on Friday was that it was senior night. We had 8 seniors, that have been in the program for a long time. And it's, you always want to send those guys out on a high note. And we did just that. That
group, what have they meant this regular season to you?
Listen, I said it on multiple shows, and they hear it from me all the time. If you make a mistake as a senior in practice, I'm gonna let you know it. We're gonna go as far as they take us. It doesn't matter if you have 8 or 28. You know what I'm saying? Those guys need to produce at a high level. Right now, this year, majority of them are our offense and defensive linemen. Scotty unfortunately still hurt, so he wasn't able to play in his senior night. But we're going to go as far as those seniors take us. Those guys got to be our emotional leaders. They got to be our level head leaders. And they got to be the guys that, produce the best on the field, regardless of what our underclassmen's talent is.
With how A to Z, the whole football program is tied together, it's not a surprise that there is sustained excellence. That's 6 straight seasons of 9+ wins in 14 of the last 15. Another piece of history, Coach Cameron, you're the second coach in Calvary history to reach 9 wins in a regular season. Just talk about the program as a whole. When you are on an end of your first season where you're going to say that it was the years ahead of you, why is this a place that you love being where you can have the success?
Well, it's there's been a lot of coaches, but of course, the one that sticks out is you take over for Mark Stroud, who's, the foundation that he built was so strong, it was sturdy, and it was just so consistent, like you just said with those statistics. So pretty much for me, it's just, I kind of just overtook it, put a little spin on it. But at the end of the day, it was there, you know what I'm saying? And when you get into coaching and when you play sports, you want to play on the highest of levels and be in pressure-packed situations. And like you said, when you come to Calvary, the expectation is to win. The expectation is to impact young people, which that's probably my favorite thing that we do the best at Calvary is we impact young people. And, the success always kind of carries over onto the field.
Well, the success in 2025, a 9-1 regular season for the Cavaliers, a 6th straight year with at least 9 wins. But hey, the defense, as the season has gone on, they have only got better. And coming up next on the Calvary Coaches Show, defensive coordinator Stephen Miros joins us.
Everything that's self-absorbed, everything that's about you, put it to the side. Don't take nothing for granted. And sacrifice everything you got for this football team.
Senior night, man. Hey, we had to take one home for the seniors. Good game tonight. Family on me, family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family. Another day to day school, baby. 1-0 every week. Let's go.
Let's set a tone right now. As long as you know the person that's beside you, behind you, these coaches in front of you, everybody's got your back. Hey, stop in front. Don't be great. Everybody, Nice job.
Welcome back inside the Calvary Coaches Show. Our guest this afternoon, defensive coordinator Stephen Miros. Coach, you were early here in the season on the show, but since a lot has changed. We were watching that Beach cinematic recap and saying how it feels like yesterday, but it also feels like forever ago. Can you believe that we're at the postseason now?
It's went by so quick. I mean, it really has. It's been a great season, and it's fun to, see where we've grown from that first game.
What would you say has been the biggest sticking point for you? Like when you go home and say, man, like if this was us in August, that wouldn't have happened.
I think the biggest thing is we understand how all the pieces fit together and how we're supposed to work 11 on a string now. And we're starting to really execute at a high level and becoming that attacking defense. And we know where everybody's going to be at, and we know how to work together.
It's a group that has really had to come together. We were talking in the first block, a player like Jeffrey McCormick, he's new to football. You have several guys who have put in years and years of work for this, but four shutouts in 10 games for you guys in the regular season, only 16 points allowed over the last 4 games. You guys were getting better as the season went on. What do you credit that to?
The way we practice, we practice at a high tempo. Our offense gives us great looks. Our scout team has done an amazing job giving us a great look year in. And guys, what our region is, the tests that they've given us and our scout team to rep what they do, they've done a great job, and they've made us better. And our guys come to work. They come to execute, and our game plans are, there's a lot of layers to them, and our guys do a great job of attention to detail, dotting I's and crossing T's, and they've only gotten better as 1 through 10. So.
Coach Cameron, I know you put a lot of trust in your defensive staff. How do you then bridge the work that they do into, obviously you trust them, give them that game plan freedom. How do you bridge it to the whole staff and the whole team then after the work that they do?
It's a trust thing, like Coach said. It's we all trust each other in that coach's room. There's a reason why Coach Montague does our special teams, and now Coach Cheatham is really taking a really kind of right hand man to Coach Montague with the special teams. Coach Miros, Coach Chumley really leading the defense. It's all about trust. That coach's office has zero egos, zero. And if you watch these guys prepare, there's no reason. I put my 2 cents in. Once in a blue, he'll get a 1 or 2 texts from me like, hey, did you see play 48? That kind of stuff. I trust these guys because I watch the way that they prepare. If you watch them on a Thursday in film study, they call it kind of like put himself in the game type thing. They set these chairs up exactly where the players are going to play, and they have clips already. Him and Coach Chumley and himself and Coach Miros already know what clips they're showing, and they're on our wristband calling out, and here's all of our players communicating. If you watch it, it's amazing. It's just a testament to the preparation that they put in, man. They put a lot of time into this. It's not just poof and here's a game plan. These guys work their butt off for me, and I'm just super thankful for them.
Hard work, there are a lot of different ways to put in hard work from a coaching standpoint and different ways to get from A to Z. What do you think you've picked up the most that you think from year to year, hey, these guys, I watched the way that they did it, the style that they did it. What do you think you've picked up the most?
What I love about coaching is there's so many different ways to skin a cat. Okay, so like my time at Jenkins as the head coach, I'll use my semifinal year. The last year I was there, we went to the semifinals. We did not meet on one Sunday. Never met as a staff. It was just kind of our style. You know what I'm trying to say? Our defense coordinator at the time did a lot of things, and kind of distributed to the staff. I did a lot of the offense, distributed to the staff, and that's the way we worked. The staff's different. We meet every Sunday, and we throw ideas off each other in game planning. So I love coaching because there's so many different ways to be successful, and there's no right or wrong way. I think we coach at a very, very high level. I think we maximize our talent. I think we do a great job of getting our guys prepared. And if we lose, it's never from a lack of preparation.
Coach Miros, how does that preparation, do you hope it kind of bleeds into the players? When they see you prepare that way, how does that correlate?
And I think they know, we're locked into the game plan. We see, they see how much we're putting into it. They know, we care. We want to put them in the best position possible for them to be successful. And I think they're appreciative of it,
Yeah, there's a lot of characters on the defensive side of the ball and a lot of personalities that when they come together, it's almost like a superhero team of sorts. But I want to start one name in particular. We brought him up in the A block, Jeffrey McCormick. I mean, there are only several dozen football players in the country that have more sacks than he does. He's tied for the lead across all classes in Georgia. Him in your game plans, and we'll go down the list of guys, but what does he do when you go to create a defensive strategy?
I mean, when you can get pressure with 4 guys, and McCormick's one of those kind of guys, you're going to have success on defense. You know, I tell you, he's worked his butt off. He works really well with Coach Shepard and Coach Chumley, and he's really just dialed in and just focused on the little, you know, details. And he plays with great technique, and he plays with one of the best motors I've ever seen a high school player play with.
In the middle of your defense, KB, Kenneth Baker. How about him as he's stepped into this upperclassman role? I mean, he's the one that after plays in practice, he breaks it down.
He does, and he's a great leader. Him and Davis they work great on the string together, and I'll be honest with you, my linebacker is a guy that glues the front back to the secondary, and, you know, he holds everybody accountable, and he's not afraid to be a vocal leader. He's not, he leads by example as well, and overall, he's just a great leader.
A lot of names that have been on campus for some time, but someone who's new, a Deshaun Wiley. He comes in the secondary. What did he add dynamically to make that secondary one of the best in the region?
Well, 6'2", 6'3", 190, blessed with, you know, some God-given talent, and he's one of my smartest guys on the field. I'll be honest with you, today I was focused on training up a will linebacker, and he called the coverage. He knows the way I'm thinking, he knows the way Chumley's kind of thinking, and the way we see things, and he's able to call things already, you know, and that's impressive as a junior. He's grown into the role very well.
Coach Cameron, you put in the locker room before games, I've heard it several times, you say you want shutouts. You want no points on the board. What does shutouts do for the defense confidence-wise, energy-wise, going from week to week? When you allow no points, I'm sure that adds a little swagger to it.
Oh, definitely. You know, and it's cliche, but if the other team doesn't score, you know, we can't lose. You know, it's right. You look at championships, no matter how many, you know, points teams score and how they're lighting up scoreboards. At the end of the day, it's a defensive stop or it's a shutout or something. Defense is going to win you the big ones, because once you get to those playoffs, you know, we're starting the playoffs in round 2 because God bless us with a bye. Everyone's good. You know what I'm saying? Everyone is a good football team. So you're going to have to get stops in order to win the game. So I'm a big momentum person. I think you could ride momentum, and I think we've hit our stride at a really good time.
2 teams that you guys could see in a few weeks, Kings Ridge, North Cobb Christian. From the Savannah area, you year over year can know a team, know a style. But when you are game planning now away from the area, what goes into that? Especially next week as you're going to be watching that game, what does game planning look defensively for that?
Oh, it's fun. You know what I'm saying? I'll let Coach answer that one a little more, but it's funny. They're a tale of 2 teams. One runs triple option and one looks like us. So it's like, you know, heck, you know, and this is what I love about football. Again, you know, last year, you know, we looked and we thought we would play Greater Atlanta Christian. Well, guess what? Mount Perrin beats them. It's when the playoff times come. We witness it in March with basketball. When you lace them up and it's playoff time, any given team could win on any given day. So right now, with us having the amount of practice time that we had, like, we are focusing on the most minute details that we talked about today, those little tiny things that we're blessed right now that we have the ability to fix. That in turn can make us successful in the playoffs.
Coach Miros, then back to you. With 2 separate, completely different offenses that you're going to have to dissect, I mean, you are fully studying for 2 tests, knowing that you're not going to take one of them.
That's correct.
What about that just maybe excites you about playoff football?
And it's cliche as well, as, you know, 1 through 10 prepares you through, you know, for 11 through 15. And our region has done a great job we've played wing tee, we've played option, we've played spread teams, and we've had we're going to be prepared either way. You know, our system, we're multiple, and we're prepared. I mean, I feel good. Either team we play, I feel great about it.
Well, Coach Miros' defense has helped lead the Cavaliers to a 9-1 regular season in 2025. But when we come back here on the Coaches Show, we take a look at the Cavaliers, who are a top 5 seed in the GHSA private bracket.
You know what this is? Come on. We got to keep stuffing it.
Refuse to lose personality.
That's how we fight. Hey, guys on me, 3-1. Another team win, and we're going to go on to the next one, man. Back out next week.
Bluffton Fence and Gutter is a proud partner of Calvary Day Athletics. Welcome back inside the Calvary Coaches Show, live from Trailer Park Pizza Party on Habersham Street. Head football coach of the Cavaliers, Jason Cameron. I am Jeffrey Roberts. A 9-1 regular season has the Cavaliers as the 4 seed in the GHSA football private bracket. We'll pull up that bracket right now. You can see it, Calvary in the bottom corner. They have a bye next Friday. The following Friday, they will see either North Cobb Christian or Kings Ridge. We talked about the game planning for both these teams in the last block, but Coach, what are your first thoughts when you see a bracket like this when it comes out?
We're happy with you try to get the highest seed possible. You always feel like if the highest seed you get, maybe the better likely you are to advance. But kind of, once you get in it now, it kind of really just doesn't matter. It's all about matchups. It's a lot about luck. To be honest with you, Coach Chumley will tell you that, and he's got, him and Coach Stroud got so much experience in it, and some of them said, listen, some of our better teams didn't make it as far as some of our, not as good teams, but, we're just a little bit more lucky than we were the year before. So, it's the definition of 1-0 each week. Because again, I was actually texting Dr. Chadwick, and I said, yes, we're in kind of survive and advance mode. It doesn't matter if you win by 1 or 41. You just want to win, and you chalk it up to a W, and you move on to the next round. So that's the position that all these teams are in, and we're just thankful to be there.
Calvary Football now has reached at least the second round of the postseason in 6 straight seasons. Just a fact to throw out because of the sustained excellence. When you see the playoff success and that is the expectation for your players who are now upperclassmen wanting to lead, what kind of fire does that light under them when they do get to this time of year?
The biggest thing is that you can't take it for granted. Like, it's hard. That success that we've talked about that Calvary's had for some time, it's hard, and it takes a lot to sustain that. And what the kids got to understand is you don't just have it because you wear Calvary across your chest. Like, it's earned. So they got to come and they have to produce, or we'll be collecting our equipment in 3 weeks. That's what I told him yesterday after practice. I said I talked to about 3 or 4 different coaches this past week, and 3 of them were collecting equipment. We still get to do this thing. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of kids are playing basketball. A lot of kids are wrestling or doing whatever they do in the wintertime. So to sustain that excellence like we're talking about, it's earned, and we want to earn every bit of it.
There are a couple other Savannah area teams in this private bracket. A nod to Savannah Christian. They are in the top left bracket. They are ranked number 8 and have a first-round bye as well. And then Savannah Country Day, they are also in that top left-hand corner of the bracket as the 17th seed. They travel to Mount Vernon, number 16, for round 1. But, Coach, it's playoff time.
Yep.
Does it get much better when the calendar flips in November? You said you had practice this morning, and there's breath. You could see the
cold.
breath.
Cold.
That's the time of year you're wanting to, though. So how do you preach that to the kids when they do get out there and they're they feel a little cold and they say that.
Yeah, it's just, we're blessed. It's something that not everybody gets to do. Like there's no more tomorrow. There's no more, okay, we're going to watch film Monday. We'll correct our mistakes. And there's none. Now it's win or go home. It's stressful. But it's fun. You know what I'm saying? We want to be in those pressure packed situations. When you come to schools like Calvary, you're putting yourself in every single year to at least compete for a region championship, to compete for a state championship. If you're a competitor, that's what you want to be in. You know what I'm saying? So our kids have embraced it, for knowing that we have 21 days, I think it is, until a game. First 2 days of practice leading up to that has been really, really good. Our guys have had a good approach. So, we got guys that are healing right now that we've held back, which could be important because, again, you want all your bullets. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to, go in there with not your best guys. So, we're healing a little bit, and hopefully we continue to improve and go on this deep playoff run.
That's 3 weeks, as you said, 21 days from Friday to Friday of the next football game. What do the next 2.5 weeks look like for this team?
Yeah, it's hard. Someone asked me before, like, what's your practices look like? I'm like, I'm not sure, but I'll let you know. There's no coach in the state, I think, that's prepared for back-to-back weeks off going into, playoff time. It's new. It is what it is. You could either choose to embrace it or complain about it. We're going to embrace it, and we're going to, like I said, focus on those small details, heal where we need to heal, and just completely focus on us, and hopefully stay crisp, for, a 21-day layoff.
Well, from this moment, it is 16 days until the Cavaliers host either Kings Ridge or North Cobb Christian. We're going to take one more break on this edition of the Calvary Coaches Show. When we come back, we break down 10 games that the Cavaliers have played here in 2025.
Yeah, this ain't a normal game. It feels like a minute since we played football. I want to look back at this thing and say Calvary dominated the football game from start to finish.
One clap. Yeah. Bring it down.
Let's go dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Dominate. Let's go. I told you if we continue to progress, hey, we're gonna be a heck of an out when come November.
Another one at day school, you're gonna catch out next week.
Welcome back inside the Calvary Coaches Show, live from Trailer Park Pizza Party on Habersham Street. The regular season has come and gone for Calvary Day football. A 9-1 record, Coach. Let's just break down some of it. You start the season against Beach at Paulson Stadium. That starts a 4-game win streak to start the season. I mean, we're looking back now at the schedule on the screen. I mean, what do you remember from those early weeks? A game in Paulson and then a shootout against Oceanside.
It's crazy because it's like, I felt like we played that opening night at Paulson in the Irk Russell Classic, which was an awesome experience. And it's like, poof, now we're in November. It's like, where did it all go? But, it's awesome, man. Then you go next to that Oceanside game, which was a shootout back and forth, tremendous star power, players making plays. It was an awesome football game to be a part of. I found myself smiling just a few different times. Like, this is one, we're playing at 11 o'clock at night, and it's, just two really, really good teams. They've just knocked off, I think, Dutch Fork, which is, a perennial powerhouse in South Carolina, And like Coach Miros said, the biggest thing I'm looking at is, like, we go from Beach, which is multiple, Oceanside throws it all over the place, Southeast Bullocks wing T, Windsor, we played so many different schemes, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, makes us so, so much better prepared for playoffs. The tough one against Jenkins, which I think, funny, I was doing a little dad moment with my son, and I was just talking about, we talked about mistakes, and I said, like, mistakes are only negative if you don't learn from them. And I feel like we learned a tremendous amount about ourselves from that loss. As much as you want to win a region championship, a little part of me is almost thankful. And God's plan for us was to lose that game and learn more about ourselves. So it was a great learning experience. And then boom, we what's that, 5-6 straight after that.
5 straight
So,
to end
yep,
the regular season.
That's right.
So had that bye after Jenkins gave you guys another second to maybe think on it? Did it simmering at all help, or was the loss just that's enough?
It's weird. I told you, I remember doing the coaches show after that, and I was saying, I had the weirdest feeling that it was like, yes, you're angry after a loss, and there was so much we did wrong, there was so much I did wrong as a coach, and things like that, but it was just this team had this different feel. Like they came Monday, I believe we gave Monday off. Tuesday it was like, boom, we're back to work, and coach, we got to be better, because we don't want to feel that again. So it's just as a coach, I'm like, listen, maybe we needed that. That's something that we needed to move forward and hopefully go on the run that we're, hoping to go on.
Yeah, well, just breaking down some of the now full regular season numbers. Zay Middleton, he's the leading rusher on the team, 513 yards in 9 games and 6 touchdowns. Caden Jones, he only played 8 games, but had 482. We'll start in that backfield. What'd you see out of it? Because that was some injuries early on.
Yeah, it's just next man up. A little thunder and lightning there. Caden's kind of our bruising back. Zay hits it like a rocket, like we've seen. Both guys, they're happy for each other when they're successful. And again, arguably one of our best backs is Brexton Bell, who, we lose him game 1. You know what I'm saying? So blessed to have him back against Liberty County. So, the running back room, we tell Coach Montague all the time, we mess with him, it is strong. That running back room is strong.
So real quick, we are going to get back to some of the numbers, but all fall long, we've talked about your family and your son, and we thought that we could have him on the coaches show at least once. Why don't you get up for him? And so we're going to close out the show. We're going to talk some numbers, but Jackson's going to join us. Before we get back to it, Coach, I got to ask him a question, okay? So we're going to get the mic on here. So it's first season with Dad as head coach of the varsity football team. How cool has this been for you?
It's been cool. It's been, really cool because, I could just run around on the sidelines. And if one of our kids scores, I can just dab them up or give them a pat on their head, and yeah.
Coach Cameron, it's not often that kids get a front row seat to their dad or mom, and being a head coach in any sport experience with him. This is year 1 of many. But what did this do for you?
Oh, it's awesome. This is a great surprise. I didn't know this was coming. I saw you looking at something, and I'm like, what's he looking at? But yeah, it's awesome. It's coaching sports has been part of my world forever. And then it was pretty much when I was in Vidalia, he was still young. Mm-hmm. Year 1, year 2 in Calvary, he started becoming a huge part of it, taking bus rides, becoming the ball boy and stuff like that. So it just took the love of coaching and took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. He's had a front row seat to a really good football team.
He's got a lot of perks, man.
James Mobley, 125 of 194 for just north of 2,000 yards. Jalen Hicks leads the receiving corps with 586 yards and 36 catches. Jackson, I got to ask, who are some of your favorite varsity football players that you've gotten to watch this season?
Probably either James or
Chummy, right?
yeah, Chummy, but unfortunately we I'm pretty sure he tore his ACL.
Mm-hmm.
So
If they just keep grinding on.
Yeah.
A lot of young men that he can look up to being in this, that know that he has mentors and people who are kind of proving that to him and showing him it. Yeah. What does that do?
Oh, it's great. It's he wore number 12 this year, first year playing football. He wore it because, Jake Merklinger is like an idol to him. Jake came to our house and watched a Georgia game to surprise him. That's what Calvary does, man. It's intentional relationships. And now that he's able to, be a part of those, it's just awesome. I tell our kids, you never know who's watching. Like guys like him, Coach Miros, his son Jackson, also they watch these guys. They're celebrities to them. So we tell our guys to make sure that they're always, being great role models to these young ones.
Well, 10 games gone in the regular season, hopefully several more, and playing into mid-December for you guys who enjoy year 1 as a family as head coach of the Cavaliers.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
man.
We're going to be off next week for the bye week to enjoy some family time and some football, but we will be back at the mid part of November for round 2 of the high school football postseason. From the host of this Calvary Coaches Show, Jeffrey Roberts, for the head football coach and his son, Jason Cameron and Jackson, we'll see you in a couple weeks, and go Cavs.
This isn't just Friday night under the lights. It's every morning, every rep, every ounce of sweat that built this team. We don't play for stats. We don't play for hype. We play for the man beside us, for the name on our chest, for the tradition we carry every time we step on this field. Behind us, a school, a city, a family. In front of us, 100 yards of purpose. Tonight, we don't just show up. We take over. No fear, no doubt, just fire in our hearts and purple in our blood. We are Calvary, and this is our time.